Hey guys, welcome back to Bassing with Brandon. I made a little summer trip here to one of Bassmaster's best lakes of 23. And when I first get up here, I launched in this Buzzard Bay area. I made a short little boat run over to the mouth of the main river channel there. It's a Big Cypress Bayou, I believe. Fished around the mouth and up into the beginning of that little river channel. Then I made a turn and I cut out through a big lily pad field right here. After that, I bounced around along this north shore. A lot of moving baits, some topwater, frog, buzzbait, spinner baits, just moving around trying to get a feel for the lake. I ended up over here on the back of this little island right here. I believe this is called Big Sandy Island, and this is how I got started. So first couple hours here has just been bouncing around, and I finally hook up with some fish here in these cypress trees. I tell you guys, if you ever have a chance to go to Caddo Lake, you need to take it. All these fish that weigh 3.5 pounds fight like they're 5 to 6 pound fish. It's really good time. So here this first morning, there was a little weather blew in, and I saw lightning hit a couple times right there, and I made a run back to the truck. Got in the truck, let the weather pass, decided to regroup. Ran back over here to the mouth of that Big Cypress Bayou, and I met up with Kevin. That's when we made a little ride around up here, just seeing the sights and stopping a few places and fished. I included this little ride through because it looked so good. So after riding around up in there, seeing what all was up in that river channel, we made a run back closer to the truck. I stopped on this south bank right here, swapped over to a swim bait, and I was able to hook up with a couple fish right in here. So when I picked up this swim bait rod, I didn't check the drag, and I about broke my rod when I set the hook right there. All right, so it was after lunch, and I decided to load the boat back up and go find the cabin that I was going to be staying in. So we load up, make the little run around to Uncertain, Texas. That's where we had a cabin rented at the Shady Glade Resort. It's a nice place. I recommend anybody going up this way stay there. They have a boat launch right there. So for the afternoon, put in, And I fished through these pad fields right here off the main river channel. I was able to pick up a couple of short fish, just fishing down the boat roads basically. So after making my way through those little pad fields, I moved on up that north bank and I fished the backside of this big green break. It's kind of like an island with these cypress trees around it. And I was able to hook up with a couple of fish there in the evening. So day two, woke up, threw the boat in the water, and made the little run out that chute. And I picked up right where I left off on the backside of that big green break island there. And I fished through the little cut in between it and a little island below it right there. Yeah, so on day one, the top water didn't produce anything. So I stuck with the spinnerbait on day two. Fished my way down through this cut right here and then got on the boat road and I bounced around a little bit. And I was on the other side of this big sandy island when I hooked up with a really nice fish. It looked to be over 6, but I lost her right at the boat. So it was a little heartbreak right there. Ended up moving on up the boat road, bounced along that bank a few little spots. Jumped over this, I think it's James Bayou that runs up north this way. And I hooked up with a couple of fish right in the mouth of it. So after the couple fish there in the mouth, I made my way on up in that bayou there. Found some spots that really looked good, but never did produce any fish up in there. So it's lunchtime. We made our way back over toward the camp, grabbed a little sandwich, and noticed this little lake, open water area up here. So I looked on the map, see how to get over there, and we decided to take that ride. This was a very interesting ride, so I'm just adding this footage in here so that you can see what it looked like. I thought it was a really cool ride. Once we get over here in these backwaters, man, everything's pretty shallow. Actually downsized to a little beetle spin and zigzagged across this little backwater back here and picked up several little 8-inch fish. I think everything we caught back here was 8 to 10 inches. There was nothing of any size. So after we got tired of catching these little fellas, we spun around and made a run back out of there. And I stopped over in this little area called Britt's Gap. And I fished along through here for the evening. So I spent the rest of the evening working this cut through the lily pad field, and I fished some holes in the lily pads and on the outside edges of them out there. There's a lot of schooling fish in there. I just couldn't get them to bite. So after a couple of days of bouncing around, throwing spinner baits, a lot of moving, just checking the lake out, seeing what I thought was best, I settled on my final day here to fish around this big green break and the big sandy island. I didn't catch anything on the big green break, but I was still moving too fast. So when I got to the big sandy island, I decided to slow it down, and I just grabbed a swim jig and I was flipping these trees, and then I would swim it back to me also. Most of the bites I got weren't really next to the trees. They were kind of in openings that were surrounded by trees and right on the outside edges of the trees. But they really like that swim jig, as you can see. All right, guys, so Caddo Lake is a very unique place. Lots of great scenery, lots of good quality fish. It's August when fishing is tough everywhere, and I was still able to catch some quality fish. So that tells you about how good the quality of fishing is on this lake. If you ever have a chance to go there, you should take it. This is going to do it for my trip to Caddo. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. And stay tuned. I'm going to try to get back to Toledo Bend sometime next week. So I'll see you guys next time.